4 bits and usually implemented as a 32-bit bus, and it runs at 33 megahertz or 66 megahertz. At 33 megahertz and a 32-bit bus, data rate is 133 megabytes per second. So, this is the frequency at which it operates, it runs, and the data carrying capacity of the PCI bus. Then is AGP, that is the accelerated graphics port. History, it is first appeared in Pentium 2 boards, and it is developed just for graphics only, especially for 3D graphics, and the configuration which is available for the AGP, that is parallel and point to point, and only one AGP port per system is available. The specification of AGP port is the data rate is up to 532 megabytes per second, which is nearly 4 times equal to the PCI. So, we can say the data carrying capacity of AGP, that is accelerated graphic port, is very high as compared to the PCI. Now, we can identify various ISA, PCI and AGP slots. Like in this diagram, the first one is AGP, that is accelerated graphic port, which is having very high data carrying capacity. After that, we have PCI slots, and in the PCI slot, it is having very high data capacity, carrying capacity as compared to ISA, and it is replacing the ISA in our system boards. And the earlier and the first version of slots are ISA, industry standard architecture, which is shown in this diagram. So, these are the three main buses, that is ISA, PCI and AGP slots, which are available on the system board for the communication. After that, we have ports and connectors. Basically, a port, it is the point at which a peripheral attach to or communicate with the system unit. Means a port, it is a point on which we can connect any peripheral devices, so that the communication, we can enable the communication between that peripheral devices and the system unit. And sometimes we can also call this point as a jack. After that, a connector which joins a cable to the port, we call it as a connector. So, this is the back end of your processor CPU, in which we have various kinds of ports like keyboard port, we have digital audio port, we have serial port, we have firewire port, USB port. After that, we have microphone port, we have speaker port, DVD port, HDMI port, S video port, audio port, network port and mouse port, digital audio port. So, these are the various ports which are available in our general processors, and these are the various ports. These are the various ports for a notebook, or you can say for a smartphone, which are available, like network port as shown in first diagram, then after that modem port and USB port. In the second, we have express card module slot, we have memory card slot, we have HDMI port, then USB port and after that serial port. And the third, we have audio in, that is microphone port, and audio out, headphone port. So, these are the various ports which are available on a notebook computer or in a smartphones. So, these are the detailed description of various types of ports, like audio in, which is in the red color, cable TV port, center surround port, composite video in port, digital video interface, that is DVI, then eSATA port, firewire port, FM reception port, HDMI port, headphones, keyboard, microphone for the monitor and for the mouse, for the network connection, for rear for the rear sound, serial port, side sound, then SPDIF in, SPDIF out, speaker, S video, telephone inline, USB. So, these are the various ports which are available for the communication path for connecting any kind of external device, and we can make the communication between the processor and the external device. Then a USB port can connect up to 127 different peripherals together with a single connector. Means a USB port universal serial bus at a time can connect 127 peripheral devices. One very important thing in the regarding the USB port is it is hot swappable. Hot swappable means while your processor or the computer is on, you can connect any kind of device without shutting down the computer. Means that hot swappable means in the USB port you can connect any device while your PC is on for the data communication, for the data transfer. You can attach multiple peripherals also by using a single USB port or by using a USB hub. So, these are the various types of connectors like type A, type B, mini B. So, these are the connector and these are the various ports, and type A type of connectors are used, type A connectors and ports are used in desktops and notebook computers, and type B kind of connectors and ports are used in peripherals such as printers, scanners and hard disk drives, and mini B type of this kind of connectors are used in mobile phones or in your camera phones or handheld games. So, these are the various description of USB connectors and its ports in depending on the various devices. After that we have serial interfaces. On a PC, a serial interface implies COM port, means communication port. We have COM port 1, COM port 2 and COM port 3, and COM ports conform to the RS-232C standards for the serial communication. Basically, in serial communication, by using these interfaces, we are transferring the data one bit at a time. Then the history of RS-232C standard. It is the well established standard developed by EIA, that is Electronics Industry Association, in 1960, and it is intended for the electrical specification in order to connect computer terminals to the modem. It defines various interfaces between DTE and DC. DTE is data terminal equipment, which is a terminal point, we can say it is a computer. Then DCE means data communication equipment, which is a modem. So, a modem is sometimes called a data set and a terminal is sometimes called as a terminus or a end connection. And VDT is video display terminal between means in order to define interfaces, it can be any VDT, it can be any computer or it can be any printer. These are the traditional this is the traditional configuration of DT and DACs. Like at the one end we have DT as a computer and telephone network is acting as a DCE, and this DTE and DC is connected with each other by using RS-232 standard. Again, from telephone to telephone, and in another part we have having another DCE which is connected to the DTE, and again for connecting a DCE and DTE we are utilizing RS-232C standard. About the data rate, the maximum specified data rate is 20 kilobits per second with the maximum cable length of 15 meters. Means the maximum data rate is 20 kilobits per second and maximum length we can have is just 15 meters. But however, it is common to push and RS-232 interface to a higher data rates also, means we can develop an RS-232's interface which is providing very higher data rates, and these data rates can be extended up to 1 megabits per second, and this can be achieved by using very short cables. Again, the various configurations which are available, that is for the serial and for the point to point. Basically, this RS-232C standards, they are mainly for serial communication. They are made for serial communication, and for the serial communication we can have point to point communication also. Then in the serial data transmission, we can have two modes of data transmission. First is asynchronous, second is synchronous. Asynchronous means that transmitting and receiving devices are not synchronized, means we are not having the same clock signal at the transmitting end and the receiving end, and a clock signal is not transmitted along with the data, means we are not having any kind of synchronization in the asynchronous mode. In the asynchronous modes, basically we are using start and stop bits for the purpose of synchronizing, and in the synchronous type of data transmission, the transmitting and receiving devices both are synchronized, and a clock signal is transmitted along with the data in order to synchronize the receiving device also. But still RS-232 interfaces are mostly, these are asynchronous kind of interfaces. Then the data are transmitted on TD line, transmit data line, in the form of packets. Typically in the packets we can have 7 or 8 bits, and each packet is framed by a start bit, that is 0 at the beginning of the frame, and a stop bit, that is 1 at the end of a frame. Means 8 bits of data we are having as a 8 bits are we are having as a data bits. In the starting we are adding a start bit which is always 0, which is showing the start of a frame, and at the end of the frame we are using as a stop bit which is always 1, which is showing that it is just the end of the frame. And with this we can optionally add a parity bit also for the purpose of ensuring the data integrity in the communication path, and this parity bit establish either even parity or it can be odd parity depending with the data bits. For example, even parity, the total number of ones, or in the total number of bits, the number of ones should be equal to 1, means we can have even number of ones. So, by utilizing the concept of even parity and odd parity, we ensure the integrity of the data in the packet. These are RS-232C connectors. Originally it is specified as 25 pin connector. Today it can also come with 9 pin also. After that we have parallel interfaces. In the parallel interfaces, the maximum data rate is 150 kilobytes, and again the configuration is parallel or point to point. These are typical printer cable showing for the parallel interface. Syntronics mails 36 pins connector, it connects to the printer, and DB25P mail connector, it connects to the PC. Then small computer system interface, it is developed by Shogart Associates in 1981, and it is used for disk drives and CD-ROMs and tape drives, scanners and printers for connecting these devices. Configuration, again it is available in parallel and daisy chain and required terminator at the end, and these are the various version: SCSI 1, 2, 3, ultra wide SCSI, ultra 2 SCSI, wide ultra SCSI. So, these are the various versions with the data width and the data rate. This is the simple diagram for SCSI block. Means we are having SCSI bus controller, I/O devices, and at the terminator end we have various ports and buses. These are the various connectors, 50 pin, 68, 80, narrow SCSI, fast, wide and ultra. Thanks.